writing that book, get my story out there. I can word it well. The story starts at my grandpa's suicide, and I call it a gunshot heard decades past, because in 2009 I tried doing the same thing, and as I started growing up, you'll hear in the story, I started hearing the gunshot louder and louder as I started asking stories about my grandpa's suicide. That's when the gunshot got louder and louder and louder and louder and led me to his grave in 2009 when I was a desperate heroin addict trying to find a way out. Call it this chapter, look on the bright side, it's suicide. I get really deep. And from there I started going into a church. And it was great. I got my first feeling of God. And I only stayed there 9 months, and guess what? This family, I ended up getting kicked out because this woman there I was good friends with ends up leaning on me. We ended up having phone sex. She's going through a hard time. I ended up telling someone at the church, and I ended up getting kicked out. That hurt so bad. 2011, I was there again alone. So then I met a friend in treatment. In 2008, I went with Peter Albers, and he got sober at this Bible camp, and so I went there for the summer. I tried to get away. But guess what? I came with. That's that chapter that I call that one. Tried to get away, but me and myself and I came with. Man, you can't escape from yourself no matter where you go. That's the lesson. Because the same character defects that I had before, I tried to get them showed up there. With me sneaking into they actually caught me trying to steal ADHD pills from a client there. And I was honest with it. I told them the truth. But, yeah. They didn't even kick me out. I thought they would. But they looked at me, and I know I was lost. I was lost, so confused, so insecure about everything. So alone. I felt so strange there that no one liked me. Even the last 2 weeks, I slept in my car, away from the group. And then from there, I tried going to a Bible college. That was the next plan, to get away. My dad met someone who moved out of the trailer house. And I was there. I was alone. Tried to get back into sobriety. I still sucked being kicked out of the church. I wanted to go back, but I couldn't. I tried going back, and a security guard walked me out crying. And then in April of 2012, I met that girl at a Suboxone treatment center. We dated within like the first week she moved in, and right then and there they fell apart. She had trust issues like crazy. I mean, she saw things on the internet and she wouldn't even investigate into it and end up ripping up my poems. I mean, it's a pop-up from porn, man, on the internet. She ends up freaking out and ripping up all my poems. She wouldn't talk to me. She wouldn't communicate. Everything I did was wrong, and I tried to do everything right by taking care of her kid. She would end up cheating on me. The whole relationship was based around pills and all that. Pills. You know? Oh, I need to get my Klonopin. I need to get that. Oh, I hated that. You know? We'd fucking fight, and I hated it. You know? Finally, one night in July, it just got boiled up inside so much that I wasn't so innocent in the relationship too. Like, I did a lot of shit. Like, I'd abuse my ADHD stimulant, stay up all night, all like that. I would scare her, man. And so there's two sides to every coin, and I'm being honest on my side too. It's not all her fault. I have fault too. And one night it just boiled up. We got in a fight, and I can't remember. It's really foggy, but I just remember me trying to calm her down to call the cops, and she hit me in the head with a lamp. I don't know if they think that I was trying to I wasn't trying to choke her at all, but anyway, I ended up getting a concussion, and she really loved me. She wouldn't let me get in that car and drive. I said she knew I had a concussion. I got in the car and drove. Last thing I said, I guess I'm gonna kill myself. She just let me go. You know? She let me go. I remember before that we got a little tacklement and I broke her phone. She was gonna call the phone I actually bought her. She was gonna call 911. I left, got in my car, managed to put my seatbelt on, and I make it through the city of Monticello where there's a lot of stoplights. And I get on this really windy road, and I start passing out. And I come to it, and I'm calling people. I even called my grandma, said I was coming over. And then I call my sponsor, and that's when I passed out, my foot hit the pedal. I'm going 120, back wheel falls off, nosedive, I go right in the ditch, miss a telephone pole by a foot, nosedive, flip over a car for sale and rolled, and I ain't breathing, my lung collapsed, my C2, my C3, my neck were severed, and that's what my sponsor heard on his phone, was just a car crash. And then they found that, the dogs woke up the owners. They called 911. They airlifted me. I went to the hospital. I was in a coma for about 3 weeks to a month, and they didn't think I'd make it, or for sure I'd be paralyzed. But anyway, this pastor prayed over me. My dad and his wife, Lisa, my stepmom, brought their pastor. They prayed over me, and when they prayed over me for the first time, I opened my eyes. And my mom said it was the most eerie thing she saw in her life. I opened my eyes for the first time, and they wouldn't know if I would be dead or anything. That's why I have such a high belief in God. He's showing me that he wasn't done with me yet. I'm not going on a failure. So then I wake up and I hated it. I wanted to die. I mean, the reality, being in my shoes, I wake up and I gotta find out that I don't have the trailer house anymore. Jen, my ex, stole everything from the house. She took everything and tried to manipulate it like it was the neighbors breaking in. When I lived there before and left for a couple weeks, the neighbors didn't break in at all. She stole everything. No family member wanted to take me in. I burned so many bridges, they didn't want to take me in. I was looking at a halfway house or group home at this point. And the only thought that goes in my head, 4 months ago I was thinking about going to Bemidji for college. And I left that girl for this. I sell my dream just to turn around and watch it become my nightmare. I mean, when I was awake, it was my nightmare. I went to dream, I had more nightmares, just tortured by the thought. And I had to see my brother go off to school, and everyone lived their dreams, and have people around them when no one was by my hospital bed. No phone rang, so my grandma was there. My dad went on with his life, my mom went on with hers. One friend came and saw me, that was Peter. I knew him from my senior year. I went to Omegon for 9 months. It was a treatment center. A really problem child. I went to group home after group home. And he saw me. And then I found out, too, another kid I went to treatment center died that same week. Nick Tobby. I used to be friends with him. And I was just praying to God, why didn't you just have me die? Why? I would not have cared. I got so pissed off at my dad when he was saying, I can't believe you lived. I just wanted to slap the motherfucker. Dude, he doesn't know me, but he acts like he knows me. Brings up the past all the time, like, It's just, he says he loves me, but then he won't pick up his calls, he won't text back. That's love, dude? Fuck you. No. And so I had no one there. I was going through a real distress at the time, figuring all that out. Oh God, I'd be abusing my painkillers like crazy in the hospital. Just do anything I could. Then they sent me to Courage Center. And in there, I actually started talking to that girl again. It was that fucking lonely. I went back to the vomit like a dog does. Because I had no one else. I bought her shit. I bought her lies. Looked at it as truth. I didn't want to be alone. Even though I knew she was using me. Hold on. You know, even in the Courage Center, I didn't even care. One night she dropped me off, I went straight to the liquor store, bought a bottle, and I got drunk in there. They found out I ripped every wire out of the wall. They saw that I was having a hard time dealing with this. So then, they decided treatment afterwards. So, and I wanted to go back home to my grandma's. Just wanted to go back. Because I remember when I was a little boy, I'd always go back to my grandma's house and be safe. Always like that. Well, when I put my mind to something, it gets accomplished. I don't give up. Well, in the treatment center, I made it 2 weeks, and I called Jen. I said, I'll give you $100, all the cash I had, bring me to my grandma's. If she really loved me, she said, I'll do it for free. No, I had to pay her, and all that. And it still lived in that fake love and relationship shit. And I was like, well, she brought me to my grandma's, and Grandma took me home again. That's the name of the book. I want to call it Grandma Take Me Home. Because I was there, when after that, it turned into hell at her house. It wasn't my grandma's house like I remember when I was a kid at 5. It changed. The hospitality, the anger my step-grandma had towards me with all the damage I did to him. My grandma's mental state deteriorating. You know, with all the stuff I put her through caused her mental state to just go down the hole. I actually fell into a very deep depression where I abused the shit out of my pills. I didn't leave the house. I was on methadone too. The only time I leave the house is go to the clinic and go back. I did that for a year. Going insane. Halfway through that year I learned I went to jail because I saw that girl again, but she had a order of protection because of the incident. When I was in the hospital, I got charged with domestic assault and strangulation for something I didn't do. Because blood from my head landed on her. So I was dealing with that. So the court ordered no order of protection. And I broke it seeing her. So I went to jail in Anoka County and all that. So then, I learned in jail you can shoot up methadone. So after I learned that, when I got out, I just shot it up. But I didn't clean off the needle well enough, so the infection got into my arm and went to my lung and went to my heart. I got a temperature of 104 and it lasted a month. My grandma wanted me to go to the hospital. I said no. No, I'm fine. To the point where I had to eat, to the point where I passed out trying to go upstairs to get some water. It was about a month, and it felt like a chore just to put on a pair of pants, like I was running a marathon. I was out on breath. I would shiver at night, even though it was warm as heck outside. Just shiver. Just shiver like I was just so sick I couldn't eat. You know, I'd take one step and be like that. I was really sick. Well, finally, I went into the hospital. And they were surprised I lived through that too. The infection went to my heart, my lung. They were surprised I'm not dead. I was hoping I was. I was hoping I wasn't going to wake up. I'm not suicidal. I just hate being alone. Even though I'm the nicest guy, and I'll do anything for anybody, but why do I end up with people that treat me like shit? So then, what else happened? So then, I was in the hospital for my birthday again. For my 22nd birthday, I was in the hospital for the car wreck. A year later, my 23rd, I'm in the hospital again. You know, IVs, all that. And then around the end of August, I got out. Didn't shoot up methadone anymore, but I did not want to be on methadone anymore. I felt like a dog on a leash. I had to go there every month, like a dog on a leash. So I still isolated. Me and Jen kind of fell apart. Then around Christmas, we got back together. And I started getting reconnected with that sponsor that was in the car accident. with him too.